So the metaphor I thought would be fun would be steeplechase for this process. And does everybody know what steeplechase is? Everybody's seen people doing these, riding these crazy horses over these big obstacles? In the US, most racing is flat, right? In a lot of European countries, and you'll see this in the Olympics, they are not only racing flat out, they're jumping over ponds and waterfalls and hedges and big brick fences, okay? I was going to use a maze, but people get lost in the maze. Your prospects are not yet lost in this process. They're either going to get out of the race, or they're going to make it to the end and say yes, okay? So gate number one, we're going to take this prospective client through the gates. Gate number one is your question, how were you hoping I could help? Okay? This, in my recommendation, is the first and perhaps one of the most important qualifying questions that you get to ask. How were you hoping I could help? Now, you need to be clear on what you need to hear in response. So, if they're saying, I need a resume, and so, okay, must be a reason you were hoping to get a new resume. How were you hoping I could help with that? Well, you know, I was passed over for this promotion, or my boss is a micromanager, or there's a 2.5-hour commute, and I need a resume. Okay? What do you need to hear? If they say, I need a new IT resume, I want to move up from manager to a director or assistant director position in IT. If you don't do IT resumes, what do you know? We're done. Okay? So you need to have your checklist of the things you need to hear, you want to hear. Okay? If somebody says, I'm a new grad, or I'm only 2 years in the job market, and you know those people make your ears bleed, okay? You get to say, let me refer you to my associate who loves working with people like you. Or let me refer you to the CDI website. You'll find numerous resources there. Or if you hear, don't give me all this, BS. I just want a resume, and I want to know how much it costs, and I want to know now. Okay? You can do two things. You can hang up, okay? And aren't there times when we really wanted to hang up? Or you can say, I'll be glad to tell you, but in order to do that effectively for you, I'm going to need to ask you a handful of questions. Does that make sense? Just give me a number. Well, unfortunately, any number that I pick without knowing more information is going to require me to make sure I've got my time and my expenses covered. So it would probably start at about $1,800 and go up from there. Now, would you like to answer my questions, or do you want to take the $1,800 number and go? Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, okay? But this is a gate. You need to hear that this person, at least at the macro level, has the potential to answer one more question. All you want at this point is to take them to the next question. But they have to answer the first one right. Make sense?